Yo! Oh, what's good, everybody? Hope y'all having a good day. I am. You guys know every time there's a conversation about who's a GOAT, you got Michael Jordan, you got Kobe, you got Jordan, and you got LeBron. And people always talking about who got the most rings. Then they be like, well, you know what? LeBron James got the most vibrant ring, since he came back from the 7-3 and 9 ring versus the first unanimous MVP ever, and the first person to ever come back from 3-1 deficit inside the finals. You guys know that argument, right? You can never win, right? But then what shuts down everybody when we bring up rings, people say, well, you know what? Robbie Horry got more rings than everybody. Then it just shuts up everybody. They become awkward, like, whose man's is this? So the video right here is called The Worst NBA Player from Every Ring Total. Let's get to the video. I hope that makes sense. Because if it didn't, it's still getting in the video.
A while back, we named the best NBA player at every ring total, but in this video, we're going to do the opposite, as we've got the worst player from every ring total, all the way from 0 to 11. And by worst, I mean least best, since being good enough to even make it into the NBA means you're insanely talented at
But who's this wall right here? Boy!
This might even be the first time you even learn that some of these players even existed. And if you want to learn about more sports that exist, go follow Sports You Never Knew Existed on Snapchat. The Game Day started a new Snapchat series that's going to cover...
Oh, I like you. First I ran your videos. You know how to pay them bills.
When choosing the worst or least best player to never win a ring, you are in a way deciding who is the worst player in NBA history. Now, the way to answer this question can go a number of routes. You can either decide what has been the most detrimental player in history, like say a #1 pick that turned out to be a bust, or you can go with a player who has little to no stats. The hardest part about this is you can't really factor in intangibles, and it would be... Man, who arms is this, bro? Who is this, y'all? That's the Dion Waiters? Excuse me, Dion Waiters? I mean, who is this, bro? This dude is slow. Unfair to use G League, international, or college breakdown film to base NBA talent. You can use non-NBA film to
I know I hear
in the future, but it doesn't really
Michael,
work so well in reverse.
Fultz, right?
For example, Anthony Bennett averaged 18 points per game in the G League and averaged 16 points per game in college. I don't need to remind you how many games per point he averaged during his first run in Cleveland. Still, just
that's him. Damn, I didn't even know.
Pick standards, is he truly worse than many of the undrafted rookies or 10-day contract players who get no playing time? In a vacuum, if you remove the media drama from being a #1 pick, I can technically name statistically worse players than Anthony Bennett. Take, for example, James Curry, who had the shortest career in NBA history so far. His entire career lasted 3.9 seconds.
3.9 seconds?
Literally just watched everything he's ever did in terms of official NBA time.
This was his highlight? But this is an embarrassment to the last name Curry.
He has 0 win shares, 0 points per game, 0 everything in all stats except playing 1 game during the 2009-2010 NBA season at the age of 24 for the Clippers. But
bro, imagine you tell your son, yeah, man, I used to play for the NBA, and son be like, really, Dad? Like, can I see your highlights? He'd be like, yeah, just go right here. He'd be like, Dad, I didn't see your highlights. Yeah, you blink too fast. Bro, this dude didn't even get a chance to even sweat, bro. How you be that bad in NBA? What?
Does this mean James Curry is the least talented basketball player to
If you blink too long, you wouldn't see him.
Intangibly, probably not. He did average 24 points per game in the G League, but then again, he only played 3 G League games. And this is why without true intangibles and non-numerical gameplay to evaluate skill off of, for this pick, it really only leaves us with making a statistical decision. And thus, the worst or least best player to never win an NBA championship is statistically James Curry, who is
this is
not related to Steph Curry or LeBron James.
Who would have ever thought? Somebody with the name James Curry. He got the GOAT LeBron James, and with the defending champion, Finals MVP, Stephen Curry, and you put them together, you get the worst NBA player. What?
FYI, the worst player with just one ring is you. Actually, it is you. That's right, you. And by you, I mean Son Yu, who won a championship with the Lakers in 2009, beating the Magic. Son was just a 23-year-old rookie from China who only played 10 NBA games, averaging a half point per game. But I think the more accurate term would be to say he averaged 2 games per point, since you can't actually score half points in the NBA. As for the worst player with 2 rings, who said Michael Jordan doesn't know how to draft champions? He certainly does, as Adam Morris.
Bro, I ain't gonna lie. I was one of the people who used to think like Adam Morris was gonna be something big, man. Leave that in the comments here, y'all. I really felt like he was gonna be something big. I thought he was gonna help Kobe, man. I was like, man, they got Adam Morris, man.
And is a 2-time champion. Adam was drafted 3rd overall in 2006 by MJ's Charlotte Bobcats. He went on to win 2 rings with the Lakers in 2009 and 2010, beating the Magic and Celtics. Charlotte really needs to stop trading their drafted players to LA because they always end up winning championships when that happens. The Lakers, on the other hand, need to trade for whoever Charlotte drafts because this ends up always well for them and could help LeBron.
I like this dude.
Win his 5th ring.
Facts!
The worst or
we do need to do that. ASAP, right now.
least best NBA player with 3 rings is Dicky Simpkins, and to be fair, he's actually a solid NBA player. If you go down the 3-ring list and beyond, it gets harder and harder to find bench riders because clearly if a dynasty team wanted you for more than 2 seasons, you have legitimate value for their roster. It's easy to grab 1 or 2 rings as a bench rider, but 3 plus, if you're staying for that long, it's because that team needs you on some level.
But that's your only highlight, bro. That's crazy, bro. You don't got your own highlight reel, bro. You and Michael Jordan highlight reel, bro. You are an assist.
4 points per game playing for the Chicago Bulls, and he won his 3 rings during Jordan's second three-peat. You could swap Dicky with...
Hey, bro, he got the rings, though, bro.
Randy Brown, but they had longer overall careers compared to Simpkins' 7-year career. The worst or least best NBA player with 4 rings is Eugene Gorilla. Much like the 3-ring pick, Eugene is actually a pretty solid NBA player. There's just so much competition in the 4-ring category, and pretty much none of them are bench riders. Gene played 4 seasons in the NBA.
Bro, I don't care what nobody say. I would score buckets if I was in that era back then. But they wouldn't let people like me hoop. Yeah. So it's good that I'm in this era, not that era. You know, shout out to my ancestors out there putting up with it. But you feel me come from? Bro.
And he was a champion in every single one of them, going 4 for 4, 4-peating from rookie to veteran. Patrick McCall won 3 rings out the
like
gate,
an ice cream truck driver, bro.
4. The reason why he gets chosen on this list is because he
only like a janitor. Tell me I'm lying.
He played 8 minutes per game, an average roughly.
But yeah, man, just
game with a PER.
That's not, bro. That's why I believe in evolution, man. Like we as humans, we evolve every single day, bro. Like
Steve Kerr. Now,
it's just
a really good 3-point
in our code, bro.
Put on an absolute show.
The game of basketball evolved.
42-15 run in Game 6 of the 2000.
Like, you know what I mean? Like I remember one time, like the WNBA, no one was even able to dunk. Now there's multiple women could dunk. Like it just. I don't understand how. That's a whole nother conversation for another video, man. We'll do that in the animal video about evolution.
Conference Finals, as he hit 4 clutch 3-pointers.
And I am a man of God. Trust me.
That series. With that in
but
mind,
evolution
compared
exists.
To all the other 5-ring champions, he's the only one that either didn't average more than 10 points per game, made an all-star team, or an all-NBA defensive team. There are only 4 players with 6 rings. These players are Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Bob Cousy, Michael Jordan, and Scottie Pippen. This is a close call between Bob and Scottie. While Bob has the better trophy case since he is an MVP, the only reason
bro, so crazy. I forgot Scottie Pippen even got 6 rings. That's crazy, bro.
Sport, Michael Jordan. Bob is the better offensive talent, but Scottie is the better overall 2-way player. While Bob is an 8-time assist champion, he was winning those, averaging around 7 assists per game for many of those seasons. Scottie in his best seasons was also putting up 7 and 6 assists per game as a forward, which is quite a lot for his position. Factoring Scottie's defense and offense, I would put him ahead of Bob in an all-time ranking. Only 3 players have 7 rings. Those 3 are
Big shot, Ori!
Jim Lustikoff and Frank Ramsey. Frank is a Hall of Fame player who averaged over 50.
This is a layup. Bro, this is a flight layup. This is a flight layup. This is a flight layup right here, bro.
15 points per game throughout his
This is a wide open layup.
prime, so this is a close call between Big Shot Rob and Jim. I'm going with Jim because Rob proved that he can be both a solid starter and a role player coming off the bench, whereas Jim was mostly a bench player averaging 6 points per game. Rob was averaging over 10 points per game in the early days of his career as a starter and then averaged 7 points per game throughout the entirety of his career. This pick goes to Jim. He's still a solid NBA player though. Rest in peace to Jim. Only 4 players have 8 rings. These 4 are John Havlicek, Tom Heinsohn, Casey Jones, and Tom Sanders. All of these guys are Hall of Fame legends and greats, so when I pick one, I'm not picking the worst, but more so the least best. My pick is Casey Jones, as he's the only player on this list to average single-digit points per game at 7 points per game, but he's still a great player. Rest in peace to Casey Jones. Only 1 player has 10 rings, so by default,
that's Sam Jones, right?
To the legendary Sam Jones. Rest in peace to Sam. And only 1 player has 11 rings, and that goes to one of the all-time greats, Bill Russell. So here is the worst.
Bro, how could I want to talk about Bill Russell? My man's got enough, bro. He got rings on his toes. What?
Or least best NBA player at every ring total. Let me know what you think of this list and what you want to see in the future. Don't forget to dunk on that like button and subscribe with notifications turned.
To learn something in this video. Hope y'all enjoyed the video. We out here. Everybody!